Good morning, friends. So I am currently at Disney's All-Star Sports, which is where I'm staying for the next couple of days. And so today I'm going to do something a little different. I've created a challenge for myself that hopefully maybe will catch on at some point in the community. First, I'm going to fill up my refillable mug and get ready to start the day. But the challenge is basically something along the lines of, I'm calling it the Walt Disney World 2468 challenge. And that's that I have to do 2 rides at each of the 4 parks using 6 modes of transportation in 8 hours or less. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. It is about 10 in the morning, and it's a little bit early for me to get started with this because one thing that we have to factor into this is the fact that park hopping doesn't start until 2, so I don't want to leave here until at least 11:30, so that way we're not waiting around wasting time while we're waiting for park hopping hours to start. And so I'm gonna get some breakfast and all that stuff before I go, and then the next video clip is probably gonna be me either eating breakfast or me getting started with how all of this works, and I'll explain a little bit more about this as the day goes on. But anyway, I'm here by myself, so I thought, well, what's something I can do to make this a little bit more fun? And that's what I came up with. So, Walt Disney World 2468 challenge, here we go. We'll talk soon. All right, so here we go. I am walking over to where the buses pick you up here at Disney's All-Star Sports Resort. The only mode of transportation out of this resort is the bus. So that's gonna be my first mode of transportation. I was originally gonna start the clock for this challenge when I got on the first bus, but I think transportation wait time is actually a big part of this. And that may be what slows us down a little bit throughout the day, because 8 hours seems like a lot of time, but keep in mind that at least 3 of that is gonna be just being transported around and stuff. So I'm really only gonna have 5 hours of actual park time. So if the line is an hour long, I mean, it's gonna be tough to get those 2 rides in and still have time to make it, around to the other parks. So that's gonna be kind of the challenge here today. But yeah, so I'm gonna start the clock as soon as I get to the bus stop. But that'll probably be where you see me next, so we'll talk soon. All right, so I know I said that the next video clip would be me at the bus stop, but as I was walking up, an Animal Kingdom bus pulled in. So I just got right on the bus, so we're off to a good start. Now, I'm staying at the All-Star, so I did have to loop through. Since I'm at All-Star Sports, we have to go to music and movies after, and then move back around. So that slowed things down a little bit, but I had a lucky break with that bus pulling in right away. Also, something interesting as I was walking up, there was this single mom and her baby, not baby, but toddler, getting on the bus, and she was having a hard time juggling all their stuff and the stroller and all that stuff. And the bus driver was telling her, you need to fold up the stroller. And, well, anyway, so she looked at me kind of like, I need help. And so I reached in and scooped up the toddler, with her permission, of course. It wasn't like I just grabbed her kid. And then she was able to fold up the stroller and whatever. I was gonna help with the stroller, but I'm glad I picked the toddler, because when she folded that stroller up, that was the opposite of what I was expecting to be doing to it. So it would have been a mess. But anyway, we're at Animal Kingdom. I'm gonna go through security, get in the gate, all that stuff. I think I'm gonna start with It's Tough to Be a Bug. That's the shortest line right now, and hopefully other things will lower, because we have quite some long lines for sure. But anyway, we'll talk soon. Like I said, I think we're gonna start with It's Tough to Be a Bug, because that only has a 10-minute wait right now, which basically means it's a walk-on with the pre-show and everything. So from there, I'm hoping something will go down. Expedition Everest had a 35-minute wait, so that might be our best bet, but it's kind of far back in the park. So maybe something closer to the front will open up so that we can just get this knocked out. Although, actually, I can't park hop until 1:30, so it might not matter too much. But anyway, we'll talk soon. Alright, so I stopped for an update because I don't have to be rushing too much yet, because I still have an hour and 45 minutes so I can even leave the park to go to the next one. So I can kind of take it easy a little bit. I decided to skip It's Tough to Be a Bug for now because Expedition Everest dropped down to 25 minutes from 35. So that should be a quick, you know, thing. And then if I have tons of time to spare after that, I'm going to grab a drink or something. And yeah, I know for sure if that's the case, we're going to be rushing a lot more this afternoon. But I have a dinner reservation at Steakhouse 71, which is at the Contemporary, and I'm ending at Magic Kingdom, so it kind of works out perfectly. But I do need to be there by about 7:50 for my reservation. So although the 8-hour clock will end at 7:15, so that should be kind of perfect. Let me give you a time update. I got here at just after 11:30, and I was in the park walking, you know, down towards the Tree of Life at 11:40. It is now 11:45, and I have made it almost to Expedition Everest, and I'm gonna get on that and go from there. But yeah, so we'll talk soon. All right, so I'm done with Expedition Everest. One thing that some of you are probably already commenting and screaming at your screen about is that Expedition Everest actually has a single rider line, and the cast member, when I was getting in line, was kind enough to point me in that direction. The single rider line is a little bit of a gamble because you have to wait until there's an odd party in order to get a seat. But if the single rider line's not too long, you can luck out over the length of the standby line. The standby line was posted at 30 minutes when I got there, and I got in the single rider line and was on board in less than 15. So definitely worked out in my favor in this case. Also, the other thing I was thinking about while on the coaster is that I don't have to wait until park hopping hours officially open, because one of the requirements of this challenge is to ride 6 modes of transportation. So I was already planning on taking a bus to Caribbean Beach from here, and then taking the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios, which is my next park. And so that's gonna give me at least a half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. So with that, I can probably leave around 1-ish and be good. It is currently 12:07, so I have a little bit of time. I was noticing that the Kilimanjaro safaris just dropped down to 40 minutes from what it was listed when I got here at 55. So I think I'm gonna do that instead of It's Tough to Be a Bug, because I feel like that's a staple here in Animal Kingdom, and you know, when in Rome, right? So that's what I'm gonna go do. Hopefully it doesn't set me back too much, because it obviously is gonna be, you know, about 25 minutes longer wait than It's Tough to Be a Bug, but I can't leave too early anyway, so I figure that should put me right at the perfect time to leave and head over to Caribbean Beach. So that's what's up. That's the update for you, and I'll take you with me. We'll see what we see and do what we do, and we'll talk soon. All right, so the wait time for Kilimanjaro safaris did go up slightly from 40 to 45, but that's okay because we still have plenty of time. And yeah, so far so good on this challenge. We'll talk soon.
Hello everyone. As we say in my South African hometown, it's time for landing. I am
All right, it is 12:34. I am coming across the bridge down to the loading platform now. I know some of you have probably already asked in the comments if I'm using the Genie Plus service. The answer is no, standby only. And what day of the week is it? It is Saturday in the summer, so it is expected to be pretty busy today. However, so far at Animal Kingdom, it's been kind of middle of the road. So yeah, making good time so far, and we'll talk soon.
Lip that'll help him browse for any food and vegetation out here. We'll also see some pink-backed pelicans over here, one of 8 pelican species that exist in the world. And the zebra, despite popular belief, are not white with black stripes, but instead black with white stripes. The Maasai giraffe is the tallest animal in the world, reaching around 18 to 20 feet in height. Now, sometimes with the elephants, you'll actually notice that they wave their ears back and forth. They do this in order to stay cool.
All right, y'all, that's a wrap on the safari for now. It is 1:07, so I'm making good timing. The ride had a posted 45-minute wait, but it took me exactly 25 minutes to get to the platform, so it was definitely underestimated, which I'm glad. Next, I'm going to be going over to Hollywood Studios. Well, actually, I'm going to take the bus over to Caribbean Beach and then catch the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios. That will be our second transportation option and our second park. So, yeah, we'll talk soon. All right, so I more or less had everything mapped out last night, but I thought about it a little bit on the bus just now, and this is what I think we're gonna do. So I've arrived at Caribbean Beach Resort. I'm gonna get on the Skyliner. That's gonna be mode of transportation number 2 of 6. And obviously, Hollywood Studios is going to be the second park. I'm gonna figure out once I get there what rides I'm gonna ride. But from there, I'm gonna take the walking trail over to Epcot. That'll be transportation number 3. I know walking isn't really seen as a mode of transportation, but including that, there are 10 modes of transportation. I'll list those on the screen now or at some point for you to see. But yeah, so then we'll do the walking trail. The reason why I want to do the walking trail instead of the friendship boat is because I'm going to take the friendship boat across the lagoon at Epcot to get that checkbox marked. And I'll probably do Ratatouille when I get there, and then just cross over from the backside of World Showcase to the front and do one more ride up there before exiting out the front, taking the monorail up to the Transportation and Ticket Center, taking the ferry across to Magic Kingdom. So that, if I'm counting correctly, should be 6 modes of transportation. That's the bus, that's the Skyliner, that's the walking trail, that's the friendship boat, that's the monorail, and the ferry. So that by the time I get to Magic Kingdom, which will be my last park of the day, I will have hit all of the modes of transportation, and then I can finish everything up there and go to my dinner reservation at 7:50. So that's the plan. Hopefully that works out. So far we're looking good on time. It is 1:45. I'm gonna get on the Skyliner and I should be able to go right on in to Hollywood Studios to start the second park of this 4-park journey. And yeah, we'll talk soon. All right, so I got off at the Caribbean Beach Jamaica station, which is right next to the Skyliner hub. So I was able to walk right over there and get on a Skyliner. I managed to get on one by myself because there wasn't even a line. So yeah, so far so good. I'm hoping this is a good sign that Hollywood Studios is also going to be relatively not so busy today, because so far we're making amazing timing on this challenge. We're right perfectly on schedule as we should be. But yeah, I'm almost there. Hollywood Studios is right up ahead. Let me see if I can get you some footage of that. And not really, you can barely see Tower of Terror. But anyway, it's a lot closer than it looks. We'll talk soon. All right, y'all, it is currently 1:58. I am inside Hollywood Studios. They let me in a few minutes early. I didn't have any issue getting through the gate, even though technically park hopping hasn't even started yet. But yeah, so the queue times here are showing a little bit longer, so this may be where we get held up a little bit. Muppet Vision is showing 10 minutes. That's a theater show, so it holds a lot of people. It's also air conditioning, which sounds great to me right now. So let's start there and see what happens with everything else. I'll take you with me. We'll see what we see and do what we do, and we'll talk soon. I think I'm gonna go over to Tower of Terror. It's listed at 65, but that ride is almost always overestimated. So I imagine it's gonna be under an hour. And then we'll be able to make up some lost time at Epcot, I feel like, because those lines are almost never long, depending on what's going on over there. So that's where we're at. It is 2:26, so we're making okay time, but we're gonna be cutting it close, that's for sure. We'll talk soon. All right, so that's Tower of Terror. It was so much fun. I screamed a little. Anyway, it's also raining because, you know, Florida. But I'm ready to leave Hollywood Studios. I'm gonna hop on over to Epcot, take the walking trail. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much while I'm walking down. The walking trail is by far the quickest way to get there, so it works out since I'm a little bit behind where I'd like to be at this moment in time. It is currently 3:30. And I wanted to be getting to Epcot at 3:30. So I looked at the ride times at Epcot, went right before I got on Tower of Terror, like as of when I was in line for it, and they weren't too bad. Ratatouille was a little on the high side, so I'm trying to decide what makes the most sense, but we'll see when we get there. And yeah, we'll talk soon. All right, so I'm headed to Epcot, down the walking trail. Swan and Dolphin is right behind me. There she is. I just looked at the ride times, and Ratatouille is at 85 minutes, and I'm not waiting that long for that ride. It's a cute ride. I love it, but that's like a 45 minutes at most kind of wait ride for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to go from the International Gateway to the right around the World Showcase over to where the boats are in front of the America Pavilion. And then I'm going to ride the Friendship boat across to the main entrance of World Showcase and do maybe the Mexico ride. Would be a great idea, maybe to get some tacos or something, or even some poutine if I can wiggle my way towards Canada. And then maybe Soarin' or something else on the way out. And then that'll be it. And we're gonna head up to Magic Kingdom. Hopefully this is where we can make up some time. There are a couple of rides that are listed at like 10-minute wait. So if I can get this worked out in a way that makes sense, we'll knock out some transportation and 2 rides really quickly at this park. And then we'll be on our merry way to Magic Kingdom to finish this thing out. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll talk soon. All right, so I made it in. We're definitely behind on time, so hopefully we can make that up here. I do need to eat something, as I've said. All right, so it is 4:35. The first boat dock that I went to said that it was closed for the day. My guess is because they were doing something with Harmonious, the nighttime spectacular show here. But I'm finally off the boat, and it dropped me off right by the refreshment port in Canada, which is where they have poutine and some things. So I'm gonna stop there for a second, even though I'm very much behind. It says that the boats run every 15 minutes. Take that with a grain of salt, because it was more like 25 for me. So we're even more behind. But I think we can make it up with the rides. I'm gonna do Figment and maybe Spaceship Earth, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll talk soon. Y'all, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I'm like so out of breath and running around. Burning some calories today though, so that's good. Getting that exercise in. But yeah, time for some poutine. We'll talk soon. All right, y'all, so I'm trying not to do too many of the cheaty rides, because obviously there are rides, especially here at Epcot, that are like almost always walk-ons. Journey into Imagination, Journey into Your Imagination, I guess is what it's called, is one of them. Usually Spaceship Earth, usually Living with the Land. So Soarin' just dropped from 50 to 25, so I think that's a good sign that it's probably close to being a walk-on itself. So I'm gonna do that one instead, and then I'll decide between the Seas with Nemo and Friends or Spaceship Earth for the second one, and then we can get the heck out of here and finish this thing out. But anyway, we'll talk soon. All right, y'all, that's a wrap for Soarin'. I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I think that one is a walk-on right now, and it is 5:33, so I have a little less than 2 hours left to complete this thing. Still have one more park to go. Still have 2 more modes of transportation to get done with. So we're gonna be cutting it close, but I do still believe that it is possible because I should be leaving Epcot within the next 20 minutes and I should be to Magic Kingdom in the next 30 or 40. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll talk soon.
Clownfish, where are you?
So Monorail Black just left. I tried to race up here and get on it, but didn't quite make it. So it's probably gonna be 10-15 minutes. So the next monorail gets here, but that's okay. I'm still optimistic. It is 5:54. So we have about an hour and 20 minutes until this thing is over. And I have this, the ferry, and 2 rides at Magic Kingdom to ride in that time. So it's gonna be tight, but we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. It's getting intense. We'll talk soon.
Because this is a free-floating level, we do have a tendency to bounce around a bit during docking.
All right, y'all, so I made it into Magic Kingdom. It is 6:30 exactly, which means that I have 45 minutes to ride 2 rides. I'm gonna cut through to Fantasyland so that I can ride Mickey's PhilharMagic because that is a walk-on right now. And then after that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go to Pirates. I'm trying to do at least 1 major attraction, and Pirates is pretty major, so as of a few minutes ago, it only had a 25-minute wait. So I think we might be able to make this happen. But here we go. I'm ready to run. We'll talk soon. All right, so that was Mickey's PhilharMagic. Good show. I do love it. We're gonna go try to make it on Pirates. I'm not convinced it's gonna happen within the time frame because it is currently 4:52. Sorry, I'm looking at El Paso time. 6:52, and we only have until 7:15. It's supposed to 20-minute wait. It's gonna take me at least 5 minutes to get over there. So if all of that is accurate, my estimate with the ride itself, I'm gonna be about 15 minutes over time. But crazier things have happened. It's a magical world that we're in. So maybe, just maybe, we'll make it. We'll talk soon.
Anchor now, you swabbies. What may I offer for these hearty heads?
All right, y'all, that's a wrap. So time for the final verdict, and you're not gonna believe it. So when I was standing outside PhilharMagic with 23 minutes left, I didn't think it was possible, especially with a posted wait time of 20 on the ride that was easily 5 minutes away. But when I got here to Pirates, it had dropped to a 15-minute wait, which essentially means it was a walk-on. I walked straight to the platform. And then when I got there were 2 large parties in front of me, and they called me forward because I was obviously a party of 1, right into an empty row of a boat. And so I got on 2 boats earlier than I would have. And yeah, I stepped onto the exit platform after the ride at exactly 7:17, which means technically I did not complete the challenge in time. I did it in 8 hours and 2 minutes. I was 2 minutes over. I thought it was gonna be way more than that. So I'm pretty surprised. As a former teacher / someone who spent a really long time in academia, I'd say that if I were grading, I would give myself a passing grade, but I'll leave that for you to decide. Officially, I failed, but unofficially, I had fun doing it, and that's really all that matters. So if you want to try this challenge out, and you're ever at Disney World and have a day to devote to something like this, can recommend. But that's it. I'm gonna go get ready for dinner, so I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.